Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to Sohaib family. Last night I walked into Sohaib's bedroom and he had taken all his clothes off again. If you are an autism parent, you might already know exactly what I mean. Today I want to talk about what autism parents have to deal with sometimes, and this is one of the challenges that goes unnoticed and unspoken about. So inshallah, I want to speak about this today, what we deal with and how we manage it and what works best for us, inshallah. For anyone new here, my name is Ifet and I share our journey raising my son Sohaib, who is nonverbal and has profound autism. And one of the challenges we deal with quite regularly is clothing. You see here? Sohaib very often removes his clothes. Sometimes it happens during the day too. Sometimes I go into his bedroom at night and everything is off. And this can lead to other challenges as well, because he's still in pull-ups. He could have urinated, or there could be stool, and suddenly there's a lot more cleaning and tidying up to do. These are the quiet realities many autism moms deal with, the parts of parenting that people rarely see. When Sohaib first started taking his clothes off, like many autism parents, I started reading online, Googling late nights, trying to understand why he's doing that. For some children, it's just sensory. Certain fabrics, seams, waistbands, they can feel extremely uncomfortable. Things that feel normal for us can feel overwhelming for them. And then for other children, it can be more about routine, comfort, and the feeling of freedom. And for some children, it just becomes a habit. But there is also another side to this. For children like Sohaib, who are still in nappies, taking their clothes off can also affect their dignity. And as parents, we are always trying to balance supporting their sensory needs and while also protecting their dignity as they grow older. And if you're an autism parent going through this, I want you to know something, that you're not alone. This is very common in autistic children. So one thing that has helped us a lot is sensory clothing, specifically the all-in-ones. They do look a bit like a onesie, but they have a zip at the back. And the purpose of the zip is to stop the children from being able to access it and open it themselves. So I am going to show you some that I have bought here. These ones. He's actually wearing one right now. Yeah, I'll have that one too. So this is an example of one, and I got these off from Amazon. It's like a onesie, and it's got a zip. It's got a zip at the back, just here. It's got a little button as well. And the button's like tucked in here, so you can put the button on like this, and then that makes it even more difficult to access the zip. I've not had to use the button because Sohaib's never tried to access it or open the zip, so this works really good. So I've got this one, and then so that it's not so boring, got a nice red stripy one as well. And there is one like this, which is like the vest that we use for babies under their grows, and it's got these buttons that just go under the nappy here. I'm always a bit wary of this because I do think that he can open these buttons, although he hasn't tried. And these are really good for the summer as well. In the summer, I'll just put these on him and I won't put any other clothing on. But in the winter, he's wearing one right now. I have got some pajama bottoms over it just to keep his legs warm. And if it's really cold, if we were going out and I felt that I needed to put one of these sensory clothing on him, then I'd put his day clothes on over it. I really do recommend this. I have been out and in public places and at his school where I have observed children take all their clothes off. And I think having something like this can really protect the child's dignity and make it just comfortable for the parents and people not staring at you. Sometimes people stare just because, they feel sorry. They're staring at you because they feel bad for you. But in that time, we still don't want that. We still don't want to be looked at, not in that vulnerable situation when our child has taken their clothes off. So I really, really recommend. It's a very good buy. But one of the things that I found was that these are quite expensive to buy. I did pay, I think it's about £25. They are about £25 to £30, and I think the bigger sizes are probably more expensive. I got them off Amazon. And again, if you're an autism parent and your child is still in nappies, you'll know that they go through a lot of clothing. Sometimes I can put one on and then half an hour later, I've had to change it because his nappies leaked. And of course, as they are always on the go, they're quite active. He's in the windowsill right now. They're quite active. They do eat and drink more because they're burning more. So that does, of course, mean more nappies, more leakages as well. So he does go through a lot of clothes, and that can be quite difficult in terms of financially. I appreciate that not everybody could afford. And, even for myself, I'm a single parent. It's not easy to have so many of these. So one of the hacks that I did come across was I was using a swimwear. So these ones, this is a swimming costume, an all-in-one swimming costume. It's got a zip, and although this zip is supposed to be at the front, I use it the same way as I use his onesie. I place it on him like this, and this has done us great. So I've got quite a few of these, and these are a lot cheaper to buy. I bought these for like £4 or £5. You can pick them up from Asda. You can pick them up from Sainsbury's. They are quite cheap. And then there's this one. So yeah, these are all swimming costumes. And then I just, again, as I said, I place it on so that the zip is at the back, and it does the same job. It can be quite challenging if your child is in nappies. I do understand that, and I'm sure many autism parents understand this too. That when we are using this, it does bring us that comfort and that assurance that he can't take his clothes off. But when they're in nappies and we have to change the nappy, it is quite a lot of work at times, because you have to take all their clothes off, then the onesie off, change your nappy, and put everything back on. That is a challenge. It may feel small, but when you have to do it several times in a day, it can feel a lot. But on the other side, the assurance that it brings is, he can't take his clothes off. And sometimes it is better to do that than be in a situation where he's taken his clothes off and now there's another problem, there's another consequence. He's opened his bowels, he's urinated, and you've got a lot more work to do, a lot more cleaning and sanitizing to do. So this does help. I don't use them all the time, not at all. You may have seen some of our previous videos where he's not wearing them. There he is, doing what he's best at. He's in his onesie right now, and he's got his pajama bottoms over the onesie. I actually try to encourage normal clothing when things are going well. But when I noticed that Sohaib started removing his clothes again more frequently, he's gone a bit fixated and obsessed about it again, then I bring back the all-in-ones. Also, if I'm at home and I'm not busy, I'll keep him in his normal clothes. But if I'm busy cooking, I've got things to do around the house, which is 80% of the time, right? So then I will keep him in his onesie, because sometimes I've turned my back for a moment. I'm doing something, I'm cleaning something, I look back around and he's taken his clothes off. So to prevent a situation like that, I will use, when I know I'm busy, I'm trying to multitask. And then again, when I'm going out, most of the time when we go out, I'm always with him. I have to keep my eyes on him. Autism parents definitely understand this. So I have to keep my eye on him. But when I go out, sometimes I'll make that judgment where I need it and where I don't. He was doing really well in terms of not taking his clothes off, and this has been more of a recent thing that he's got back into. He's recently started taking off his clothes again, and that's something, again, you may understand as autism parents, because there are quite a few things that he starts doing and then he'll stop, and then sometimes I've thought that, okay, this is it now, but no, he'll go back to it and he'll start doing it again. And you start understanding your child, you start getting used to it as well, and adapting to his ways, recognizing that sometimes when they do get fixated to some things, it might not last long. It might be difficult in that time, but inshallah it won't last long. They might come back to it later on, but they will give you a break from it. So we've experienced that with the clothing. There was a time where Sahib was taking his clothes off non-stop, obsessively, and I had to use the onesies all the time, during the night, during the day, going out. But then he stopped. Then I noticed that I could put normal clothes on him and he stopped. So I got a nice break. And now, just recently, in the last couple of weeks, I've noticed he's doing it again. So we've gone back to using them. But I'm sure he'll give me another break, inshallah. Also, I wanted to share with you these grow bags. I use these grow bags in the night for bedtime. And this also stops him from removing his clothes. And what I do is, again, the zip is on the back, and then I zip it from the top. I take the zip all the way to the bottom here, and he cannot come out of this. He can't come out of this, so he can't remove his clothes. So at night, I can use normal clothes. I don't have to use the onesies in the night, and that makes it easier to change him, because he does open his bowels sometimes when he goes to bed. About half an hour later, I check up on him, and I need to change his nappy, so it's easier to access the nappy if he's just got this on. The other thing is that I do feel that this sets a routine for him. As soon as I put the grow bag on him, he knows it's time for bed, and he starts lying down. It wasn't always the case. It's taken time and it's taken patience, but now he knows. So Alhamdulillah, that does really help. Today, when I went into his room, as I said to you earlier, he did have all his clothes off, and that was because I was using this grow bag. And what had happened is, last night, I think it was overconfidence on my part, I hadn't zipped it up all the way to the top. Maybe in the back of my head, I know, oh, he just can't access it. But Sohaib being Sohaib, because of that little bit being open, and he's quite skinny, the zip wasn't even down. He had just come out of this. And as he came out of this, and as I mentioned, he was in his normal clothes, he took all his clothes off. And luckily, I noticed him in good time, so there wasn't any other mess to clean up. He hadn't opened his bowels or urinated. So now I'm just going to be more careful, make sure I've zipped it up. So I do think this one's a better one. This one's a better one to use, because the zip for this one, it goes, you can take it down, or you could take it up. So when I take it down, I can tuck it. Can you see this bit? It's got a little button. I can tuck the zip in there and close it. So that would be very difficult for him to get into. I'm pretty sure he can learn it. I'm pretty sure he will learn it. But then if he does, I will just go back to using the onesies at night as well. So if you're a parent struggling with this, please don't feel embarrassed. Please don't feel that you are alone. This is a very real part of raising a child with autism for many families. I know there are other autism parents who are dealing with the exact same thing. People don't always understand these behaviors, but there is always a reason behind it. So small adaptations such as sensory clothing can make a huge difference for the child, for the families, for the parents. So guys, I told you I'm not good at this and I'm still learning. I was talking for about 5 minutes and it wasn't recording. I'll get there. So Sohaib has learned something new in recent months. So if we do to him like that, he'll put his forehead in front of you. He'll put his forehead on your lips. He knows that you're asking to kiss him. And then when you do it a bit too much and he gets fed up, then he'll just slap his hand onto your lips and be like, "Here, kiss this." So I'm going to try and bring him over and try and put a little show on so you guys can see, hopefully. Oh, let's go to him. I think that might be a better option. Sam, you try it. Do that. Okay, I don't know if you saw, he just put his hand on his mouth. He's not quite in the mood right now. Sohaib, mommy, try it. Hold that on. Sohaib. Sohaib. Did you catch it? Sohaib. And then if you do it a bit too much, he will like bite you or scratch you when he gets fed up. But I don't think he's fed up yet, so maybe one more. That was cute. I love him for that. If you have found this helpful, I share lots of honest experiences about raising my son Sohaib and the realities of autism motherhood. So feel free to subscribe or follow our journey. And if you're another autism parent dealing with the same clothing challenges,
I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what has worked for you. Let's do this. Bye, everyone.
Bye.